The film opens with a woman named Jody and her boyfriend Kevin, who are in the middle of robbing a store. Holding the store clerk at gunpoint, Kevin demands cash, and Jody insists on opening the old safe. The clerk warns her that she's not prepared for what's inside. Frustrated, Jody shoots the clerk on the spot. The next scene introduces a quiet woman named Samantha. She's having car trouble and goes off in search of help. She stumbles upon a small cabin deep in the woods. Carefully, Samantha enters and finds a bed, a backpack, and a radio inside. Feeling hungry, she eats a snack from the backpack. Suddenly, she hears someone approaching. A man walks in, grabs the backpack, and walks right back out. Frightened, Samantha runs out but collides with the man. Trying to escape, she trips and injures herself. The man, who introduces himself as Tom, offers to help and takes Samantha back to the cabin to bandage her wound. Samantha explains she hasn't eaten since yesterday and only took a small snack from his bag. Tom then asks why she's here, and Samantha says her car ran out of gas. Her husband, Adam, went to find a gas station but hasn't returned since the day before. When Samantha asks Tom why he's here, he says his truck broke down and he's been stranded for 3 days. Hearing this, Samantha wants to go search for her husband, but Tom warns her about the bitter cold. When she lights a cigarette, Tom asks to borrow her lighter to start a fire. The newspaper he uses reveals a date from 2011. Later, Tom accompanies Samantha back to her car to grab a blanket. He checks the engine and confirms the car is out of fuel. Samantha leaves a note in the vehicle in case Adam returns. On their way back, she asks about a bathroom. Tom jokes that the whole forest counts. Samantha then vomits, a sign that she's pregnant. Realizing she's expecting, Tom questions why she's smoking. Samantha admits the trip was meant to inform Adam's parents about the pregnancy, news she feared they wouldn't take well. The stress made her reach for a cigarette. Tom tells her to rest. In her sleep, Samantha dreams about her future childbirth. The next morning, Tom siphons the last of his gas to fill Samantha's tank. While he's gone, Samantha finds an unconscious woman outside the cabin. She drags her inside and tries the radio, finding only an old toy model of a German Me-262 fighter plane. Eventually, the woman wakes. She's Jody. She's confused and quickly rushes out of the cabin. At the same time, Tom hears a low-flying aircraft and gunshots, which scare him into spilling the gas. When he returns to the cabin, Jody introduces herself. She says she was dumped here after an argument with her boyfriend, Kevin. Tom warns them both about the shots he heard. Jody, brash and suspicious, accuses Samantha and Tom of hooking up. Samantha and Tom quickly deny this, with Samantha adding that she's married and pregnant. Tom backs her up and tells Jody to stop making baseless accusations. Eventually, he urges them all to get some sleep. That night, Jody dreams of herself giving birth in prison. 8 months later, she's sentenced to death. The nightmare shakes her, and she tries to leave, but there's no way out. Later, Jody warms up to Samantha, asking why she came to Wisconsin, but Samantha says they're in New Hampshire. They argue, and Jody storms off. Meanwhile, Tom searches for fresh water and finds a spent bullet casing. As he returns, he realizes he's been walking in circles. Every path leads back to the cabin. Disturbed, Tom begins to think he's going crazy. Jody claims Samantha is the one who's losing it, citing her insistence that they're in New Hampshire. When Tom confronts Samantha, she firmly says they are in New Hampshire, while Jody believes it's Wisconsin. Tom then says they're in South Dakota. All three are left confused and unsettled by the conflicting information. Concerned about food, location, and their memories, Tom declares that they must search for a way out in the morning. That night, Tom dreams of killing a preacher and later taking his own life. The next day, the group explores an unexplored area. Jody stumbles and instinctively checks her bag. She's still carrying the cash from the robbery. Right where she fell, they find a metallic object buried in the ground. Tom opens it with his axe. It's a hidden bunker, with working lights, canned food, and German propaganda posters. Seeing a Me-262 model aircraft, Samantha recalls that her father was a Nazi soldier who died before she was born. From these clues, Samantha concludes that they must be in Poland. After gathering the supplies they needed, the three rushed out to continue their journey. Strangely, the cabin was once again right in front of them, even though they had already walked a long distance away from it. Jody then assumed they were trapped in something similar to a game called Pac-Man. Since it was already getting late, they decided to go back inside the cabin. While eating, Tom shared a bit about his past, how he grew up in an orphanage because his mother was executed when he was just a baby. Afterward, Tom stepped out to relieve himself. While he was gone, Samantha became curious and checked the money Jody had with her. Things got even weirder when Samantha noticed that the money was printed in 1984. Confused, she wondered how the Treasury Department could produce bills from the future. The same year was also printed on the jacket Jody was wearing. Samantha then revealed that her father died 22 years ago when she was still in the womb, and stated that the current year was 1962. When Tom returned, Jody handed him a bottle that was manufactured in 1932. They asked him what year it was for him, and Tom said it was 2011. Realizing that each of them was from a different time and place, confusion and fear started to build. Suddenly they heard a gunshot from outside the cabin. When they went to check, they encountered a German soldier. The soldier pointed a gun at them, but Samantha, speaking in German, tried to explain that they weren't part of any military group. The soldier ignored her and punched Tom. He then tied all three of them up. The next morning, the soldier dragged Tom outside, planning to shoot him. Luckily, Tom managed to escape. He ran as fast as he could, only to find the soldier already waiting ahead. The soldier tied Tom to a tree and returned to the cabin to interrogate Samantha and Jody. He grew angry when he saw that the photo in his necklace matched the photos in the necklaces worn by both women. He demanded an explanation. Jody said her necklace was a gift from her mother, and Samantha claimed the photo in the soldier's necklace was of her mother. He took them to where Tom was tied, unaware that Tom had freed himself. As the soldier approached, Tom punched him and tied him up instead.
I don't give a fuck if he understands or not.
Upon checking the soldier's identification and photo, the three were stunned to find out he was Hans, Samantha's father. The photo inside the necklace was indeed Samantha's mother. Jody then admitted the woman in the photo was her grandmother. Shocked, Samantha asked Jody when she was born, and Jody answered November 11th, 1962. Jody went on to share more about her life, convincing Samantha that she was indeed her daughter. From all the details they exchanged, Tom realized that Jody was his mother, and Samantha was his grandmother. Tom revealed that he would be born in prison in 1985, 8 months before Jody would be executed for her crimes. Jody then sat with her mother, Samantha, and talked about their family. She explained that Samantha would die giving birth to her, and her father Adam would be killed in the Vietnam War. Jody would be raised by Adam's alcoholic father, which led to her troubled life. Samantha then explained everything to her father Hans, who surprisingly accepted the story and allowed Samantha to untie him before leaving. Later, Samantha, Tom, and Jody talked about the dreams they each had, visions of how they would die. Tom told them that none of those deaths had happened yet, and they still had a chance to change the future. Based on old war maps, Samantha pointed out that Hans was reported killed in an airstrike in a forest in Wieland, Poland, in 1945. That location matched where they currently were. Tom explained that if they could stop Hans's death, it would prevent Samantha's mother from remarrying. Samantha would grow up with both parents, and so would Jody. Jody, having a proper upbringing, would not fall into a bad lifestyle, and Tom would grow up with a loving mother. They decided to bring Hans into the bunker during the airstrike to save him. While searching for Hans, he returned to the cabin to fix the radio. He succeeded just as a German bomber radioed in, telling him to proceed with the mission. When the others returned, they pleaded with Hans to abandon the mission. Samantha explained that if he went ahead, he would die and ruin their futures, but Hans ignored them. Tom chased after Hans, leading to a physical fight. During the scuffle, Jody tried to intervene but was accidentally shot by Hans. In a panic, Tom told Samantha to keep Jody alive. If Jody died, he would never be born. Tom continued to pursue Hans and fought him again. Eventually, Hans ran off, and Tom ran a different direction, using his understanding of the Pac-Man loop to intercept him. They met again at the cabin. Hans fired his gun, and the bullet passed through Tom, who then vanished. At that exact moment, Jody died. Soon after, German bombers dropped explosives. Samantha begged Hans to hide in the bunker to save himself. Fortunately, Hans listened and entered the bunker. Right after that, both Samantha and Jody disappeared. The airstrike destroyed the cabin, but Hans survived. The timeline then rewinds, showing Jody at a convenience store. She remembers the robbery she committed in the previous timeline. This time, she simply thanks the store clerk and leaves. Outside, she sees Kevin, her boyfriend from the earlier timeline, who is now about to rob the store just like before, repeating the events exactly. In the end, Hans survived the airstrike and emigrated to the US after World War II, becoming a philanthropist until his death in 1985. Samantha gave birth to Jody safely, and Jody grew up well-educated and lived a happy life with her mother.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.